this is Pierre Sabak, and today we're talking to James Welsh, and we're going to be looking at his book, Corroborating Evidence, and we're also going to be looking at some of the personal experiences. So this is James Welsh. So hi. Okay.
Hi, this is Pierre Sabak, and today I'm talking to James. Do you want to introduce yourself, James?
Hi, I'm James Welsh, the author of Corroborating Evidence, the UFO investigation of the millennium. And we're standing here on over Dale Street in Badfield in Glasgow, and this is a sighting of my first, this is a location, sorry, of my first sighting event, which happened on December the 4th, 1999 at 4:45 a.m. I had came here with my dog and my friend Sarah. I was walking her home and getting the dog out at the same time, killed two birds with one stone. We were standing here talking about the night's events when our attention was drawn to an object away over here in the distance, maybe half a mile to a mile. No, I wouldn't say it was a mile away, but it was, you know, in the distance here. It's pitch black, 4:45 in the morning, clear sky, and it was a very, very bright stationary object. After a moment or two, it started to flash rapid green, red and blue colours repeatedly. I mean, we're talking about rapid green, red and blue, green, red, blue. And we're standing watching this, and then it suddenly shot up at a 45-degree angle, left a light trail behind it, if you imagine like an elastic band stretching and then snapping. So it's moved, shot up to another location at 45 degrees and stopped, and then it sort of grew brighter again and then shot back down in the opposite direction at 45 degrees, again leaving a light trail behind it which followed it down. So it's made two distinct movements, and then it shot again, third movement, again like an elastic band stretching across, big white light trail, bluish white, shot back to its original position, stopped for a second, and we're standing watching this, and I said, you know, Sarah, are you seeing this? And she says, I don't know if I want to. But then the object repeated this movement 5 or 6 times, and it actually made hoops of light in the sky with this light trail that was forming behind it. But as the light trail formed, it was also self-erasing behind it. And what I could determine was that even though it was moving in hoops, it was actually passing the 3 points that it had actually stopped at. And it done that 5 or 6 times, and then it shot away over the east end.
Do you think this was a physical object?
Yes, definitely a physical, technological object, yep.
Right. Do you have any ideas? I mean, do you think it was military, or do you have any other ideas what this object could be?
It wasn't of this world, because of the way it shot up and then stopped suddenly. We obviously can't do that.
Could you?
Sorry.
Could you? Have you got an estimate in terms of the size of the object? Was it the size of an aeroplane, or?
Thereabouts, definitely. Right. I mean, obviously it was a white, bluish white light, a white light with a bluish hue to it. But the way it moved and the way it could stop, and then obviously these movements that it made with this hoops was just totally illogical. It didn't make any sense, and obviously
so
we
they
knew that we were looking
kept on returning to these same points.
3 points it stopped, yep, like a triangle basically. Yeah. A perfect triangle, and but it was 3 distinctive movements. It moved up the way, stopped, then moved back down, stopped, and then back to where it started, and then, as I say, 5 or 6 times shot away over there, and that happened over the space of about 60 seconds or so it's quite a long...
That was 18 years ago today?
18 years ago today, yes, aye.
And did this appear in the media, or did you hear tell of anyone else seeing this object? I know it was late.
Basically, at the time when we were watching this, I mentally said to the object, come closer. Right. And it shot away, and when it shot away over the east end, away towards the east end, I thought, so much for them being telepathic, you know, I thought, so much for being telepathic. And that was that. But so I left my friend, she went home, and then I ran home with the dog to tell my brother and let them know what had happened, you know, obviously over the moon, or, you know, ecstatic at what had happened. But it was when I returned home, within 15 minutes I had a second close-in encounter, and it was, again, this time it was 700 feet away from me.
This same object?
a similar object, if not the same object. I mean, this one that we've seen here shot miles away, and it was literally gone miles.
So do you think it read your telepathic intention?
I've no idea. But I just find it odd that I'd asked it to come closer, and then 15 minutes later
It came
I
closer.
had a second sighting, which was totally inexplicable.
Fine.
And then that was around about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And directly after that, I picked up the phone and phoned 2 police stations.
Can I just check? So was it hovering at the end of the street, or had it come closer, or?
No, it was totally stationary when I
Right.
caught sight of it the second time.
Yeah.
And again, it was bright white, bluish white oval object.
Yeah.
Then the glowing stopped,
Yeah.
and I could see the silhouette of a darkened, what looked to me like a triangular or pyramid-shaped object.
And it was silhouetted.
But after a moment, light started to grow from the top of the object.
Yeah.
It totally enveloped the object.
Yeah.
It grew brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
And then it just totally imploded and disappeared directly. I mean, it vanished into thin air right in front of my eyes.
Imploded?
700 feet from me.
Imploded.
It completely imploded. It just disappeared into thin air. It didn't go anywhere. It ceased to be in front of me. So I don't know if it went visible, or I don't know if it went to another location or whatever,
Right.
but it was absolutely inexplicable.
Before this encounter, had you been interested in UFOs before, or?
I held an open interest, but
An
it
open
wasn't,
interest.
it wasn't a
Did
a
it?
passion or anything like that until.
Did it totally change your paradigm after seeing
Yes,
that?
yes.
Did
I
it
knew-
change you in any way?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean,
Right.
obviously, this was just the beginning. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I had this sighting. I didn't expect to have a second one
No.
15 minutes later by any means.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously I had further sightings as the month went on within a 3-week period.
Right.
So I was absolutely perplexed at the fact
Right.
that these sightings were ongoing, because I thought, you see a UFO, it's a one-off event,
Yeah.
and I had repeated
And
sightings. so-
these repeated sightings, were they similar type of objects, you think?
yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
And do you think that there was this relationship between you and the objects, or was it just that these objects were over Glasgow?
I think they were over Glasgow at the time. I mean, as I say, that was just a sort of whimsical, come closer,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously, when it disappeared, I thought,
Right.
so screw you, raging. But as I say, when I got over the bridge 15 minutes later and had the second sighting, I was really taken by what I seen, and that caused me to phone 2 police stations to report it. They were 6 miles apart. I phoned East Kilbride Police Station
Yeah.
and Rutherglen Police Station
Yeah.
to report lights in the sky.
And what was the reception?
I'm not sure which police station I phoned first, but the first police station, 5 o'clock in the morning, a Sunday morning,
Yeah.
Saturday morning, sorry. The police were kind of laughing down the phone at me. Nobody's phoned up to report anything, and
Right.
I says, well, just in case anybody else does,
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
The second police station I phoned, they were quite interested in it,
Right.
because obviously I was, explained to them what happened, and explained that I'd already phoned another police station.
Yeah.
And the basis of the phone call was to just ask if anyone else had phoned up to report anything,
Right.
because I had seen something.
The
was just looking
possibility
for
that if they were taking it
confirmation.
seriously, that maybe somebody had, perhaps.
It was one. I mean,
Yeah.
looking back, I wish I had been able to get information from the police at
Yeah.
the time to get it
Chase-
put in the book,
chase-
and then I
chase
could
it
have
up.
chased that up.
Yeah.
But obviously, I did make further inquiries as
Right.
the years went on, sort of
Yeah.
thing, and got substantial information from the police regarding.
So you
activity.
have a relationship with the police in terms of a loose kind of.
I pestered them for a while.
Right, okay.
I got in touch with them over. I phoned back both police stations 2 or 3 days later,
Yeah.
just to see if anyone had phoned after I had actually made my report.
Yeah.
To be told no one had made such
Right. Yeah.
such a report.
Yeah. How did your family view this? Did they totally believe you, or did they just think it was an exaggeration? Or?
Well, I had another witness to the 5 o'clock sighting, which
Okay,
was
so
my
that-
brother's girlfriend at the
Right.
time.
Okay. So that gave you a degree of credibility.
Yeah, and obviously I had my friend Sarah with me here at the first initial
Right.
sighting location.
And did they change, or did their perception about this particular phenomenon actually change?
I don't think any of them held as much of an interest in it as I
Right.
did.
So it was just,
Um,
it was a curious thing that they saw. It was inexplicable, but they just went on with their lives. But with you,
Basically,
it,
with me,
it changed something.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
yeah, it went from being, let's say, a curiosity or a mild interest to being your life, basically. And
Well, after I had these 2 experiences, I mean, I obviously had this one here,
Yeah.
and then 15 minutes later I had a close encounter. Well, I think they say a close encounter's 500 feet, but I mean, it was 700 feet, you know, you're not
right.
gonna,
Okay.
700 feet, you know, you're not going
Yeah.
to
You don't.
argue over that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that I had a dream after I had these 2 encounters, which
Right.
I woke up the next morning quite frantic,
Yeah.
and my first thought was Egypt and the Millennium,
Right.
and what the Millennium heralded and the sort of
Yeah.
thing. So I was within 3 days I booked a ticket to Egypt for the Millennium, which
Right.
was a bit nuts. You know, I'd never really travelled anywhere by myself,
Yeah.
or that far afield myself.
Yeah.
But I really felt that
You needed
something
you
was going to
felt-
happen at the Millennium, and if it was going to happen anywhere, it was going to happen at Giza for some. I don't know why.
And was it a spiritual experience for you for going to Egypt? I mean, did something change inside of you, or did you feel that there was a communication, or was it just that some kind of recognition or quiet recognition?
I think it was just a personal whim, you know. I just, I mean, obviously, I have a big interest in Egypt and ancient civilizations and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was a lot planned
Yeah.
at the Millennium. At Giza, they were planning to cap off the Great Pyramid and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that had been at the back of my mind throughout the year,
Yeah.
but I never ever suspected for 1 second that I would end up going over there and spending
No,
the
no.
celebrations over there.
It's funny listening to what you say about the complexity of the sighting, because there's one line in the Ministry of Defence report for that year, isn't there, where your sightings listed for that date in 1999, and all it says is something like one-liner saying one sighting of multiple of the coloured white and green lights moving around. There's no mention of it being multiple locations. And
Well, yeah, that's what I found interesting as well, was the fact that when I actually got round to making an official report on December the 15th at 3:30 in the morning, I was actually reporting the sighting I had at 8 minutes to 8 the evening beforehand.
oh right,
So I was quite curious as to the fact that it hadn't been put down as 8 minutes to 8 in the evening the previous night, and they were actually using the time that I'd actually phoned up to make the report. So I was quite...
Also, it's the time of the reporting, not the sighting.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
probably
they
official
marked it down
protocol,
as the
isn't it?
reporting
Yeah.
of the sighting,
Yeah.
of the reporting, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was odd.
Yeah, I mean, the dream thing I'd like to talk about, but not at the moment. When we get back, we can go into more detail, because I think that part of the story is actually very fascinating. So we will pick up on that when we get back to the hotel. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, right, we're now on Contour Road in Newlands, which is a 5-minute walk from the Overdale Street, from our original sighting location. And it was here on 25th of December 1999 at 4:45 again, believe it or not. And that we come up this path, and we started noticing activity, and I was saying to my friend, you know, we're talking about it. And my friend Danielle said, "You two aren't going on about UFOs again," followed by, "What the F is that?" And above here, above these trees, it was there was a lot of cloud cover, but behind the clouds were all sorts of flashing lights sitting stationary, and all the clouds were getting illuminated: green, red, blue, purple, yellow, and it was quite a brief sighting. But so obviously we never seen anything apart from clouds being illuminated multiple different colours, so I don't class it as a sighting because we never actually seen anything physical. But I found it very curious that obviously we were seeing disco lights going off behind clouds, and that was rather odd, shall we say. So
Can you just point out the
last sighting.
Can you point out the direction of where we were stood before?
Yeah,
so
we were
people
just, if you see where that car is coming up the middle of the road at the moment, that's just off to the right behind that is, or off to the left, sorry, behind that is the original sighting location. Or my my location, sorry, when we seen the original sighting. Yep, which was over this way. No even quarter of a mile over that way, so.
That was a pure bonus, bumping into Bill today. Just when I seen that wee flashing ball there. We bumped into my mum's neighbour, and what happened was I bumped into him one day and I told him I was doing all this UFO research. And I'd known him for years, but he never knew that I'd been working on this project because I had all these UFO sightings. So I started getting talking to him about the UFO stuff and told him, I had that sighting in the lane, you know, right out his backyard. And he says, Bob, he says, I seen an orb in my garden one night. He says, and it left a trace mark after it and all that, blah, blah, blah. So he took me in and showed me it, and that was, I think that was about 3 or 4 years ago now. But again, just bumped into him this afternoon. My house was there, my direct next door neighbour, he said he'd seen a fireball in the lane that I had an encounter in. And the guy at the very end of the lane had trace evidence in his garden, so it's like, you know, that's what's going on around here.
That confused him.
Hey!
It's not so much evidence as there was still a circle, there was still an area left that had been left void on a lawn where a large sphere of light had appeared. It was, that one was about 4 foot, I think we're metric now, it was about a metre, a bit more than a metre, and it sat on the lawn for a while, half immersed, half underground, just a big dome. And it looked as though there was a path, a small one had moved off, because there was a small path about, what's it, about 25 centimetres wide, just a wee winded path, as though one had come off, a wee satellite had come off it. But we really don't know much about it. But there was a bigger one, it's about nearly 2 metres. In the garden in a different place, and it was massive. It was a few years ago.
And what did you think that was?
Well, I can only assume it's ball lightning. But what ball lightning is, I don't know. But
some kind of phosphorescent phenomenon, basically light phenomenon.
Aye. Well, see, a long time ago, when I was young, I was fishing all night once. And one came across the surface of the loch. It was only like 2 metres away. And it came right across my path. It was substantial. It was about 18 inch. Over 18 inches is in metric.
It looked plasma-like, was it? Is it a very bright phosphorescent light?
It's not terribly bright, but it's kind of subtle, I think, or soft. It's called. Like a moon. Like a moon.
Was it a bluish colour, the light, or what colour?
It was dark, so I would say it was on the verging on just a bit blue from white. It wasn't pure white, you know, it wasn't dazzling. But that was an interesting encounter. That passed right by and went by me, and I stood up to see, and it stopped dead.
Was this over the loch or over the water?
It was half immersed. It was half immersed. So I phoned, at that time it was a long time ago, but I phoned the Met Office and told them what I'd seen, and the guy was asking about the size. He's saying 18 inch, and he came back to this business of the size of it, and I assured them, and eventually he came back again, and I said, well, I'm an engineer, it was either 17 or maybe 19 inches, but it's very accurately 18 inch. And he said, well, that's funny because one flew through the centre of an aircraft recently, and it was 18 inches, and all the rest are reported as 6 inch.
So there was some kind of consistency there with the story.
Absolutely, that's what he was searching for.
And how many times have you seen this in your life then?
I think that's all the accounts. I think that's 3 accounts.
3 accounts.
Yeah.
So which loch was that on then? The last one?
It was Loch Weeble. That was, that was years. That was 50 years ago. But it was interesting that this guy kept sort of moving around this subject and coming back to it. And then I realised that's what it was, because they're all reported just like like 12 centimetres or something, which is standard.
Yeah.
And this one was...
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, this one matched the one that had just recently been seen on aircraft.
So the one you saw in your garden, you said you saw a satellite. There was evidence of satellite ones moving off. Was that because the grass was moved, or was
Yes, the grass was dead. The grass
dead?
it was almost completely dead. It was just like
Would you say
dead
it was
moss.
burnt?
That's right, you were saying about the moss.
Yeah, the moss.
Killed the
had
moss
all-
and the moss went
That's
into
it.
the ground and renutriated
Yeah.
it. So there was a
Right.
thicker patch of grass
Yeah.
in a circle.
Aye.
And I seen that with my own eyes.
Aye.
Took me into because I says to him, I had this sighting location
Yeah.
right at your, basically at the back of your house in the lane.
Yeah, in the lane, yeah.
And we were literally 20 feet away from where this thing you showed me was, and I was absolutely
So-
perplexed at it. And obviously, you know, obviously you've got... What was it you did again with the fishing? You're a marine biologist?
That's
yes.
right,
And you were able to say to me, there's the moss renutriated the ground, and that's what brought in the circle.
The
And that
moss-
was absolutely fascinating to see.
Yeah, the moss had died off and yellowed.
Right.
But a year later, it came back and the grass was much richer.
Right,
Where the
right.
path was and where the circle was.
Right.
It was much richer.
So you could actually still see that it had changed the growth pattern of the moss for...
Aye.
Did that last for a couple of years, or...?
It was about... It may have, I think it was about the third year James
About 3
came.
years.
So it was just visible. James
Yeah.
just walked right around, exactly around it.
And so your interpretation of this is naturalistic rather than supernatural. Would that be your angle or perspective on this?
Really no idea.
You've no
I really
idea.
wouldn't
Right.
like to hazard a guess at that's a wee bit beyond me, but
Sure.
it's fascinating to listen to what James had to say, and you guys, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just, have you had any other experiences or dreams or anything which could be, in the very least, connected to this, or not really? You've just had these sightings?
It's just these sightings.
Just the sightings?
Yeah, it's strange.
Okay.
But that was from a way back.
Yeah.
Why they keep appearing with me? I mean, lightning's not supposed to strike the same place
Yeah,
twice.
I know, it is. It's on.
3 times.
3
Because
times.
I've seen them obviously at the sighting up over there, and then at the sighting in the lane, sighting at the end of the street,
And Mount Florida as well.
in Mount Florida
Mount
one.
Florida.
So it was all in this
this
area,
area.
repeatedly. Kept coming back to these areas, so it was like, and the time frame as well.
So this is 15 years ago that you saw that. When it's around 18 years ago when you saw yours, James.
Yep,
So that
yep.
is that a period of quite a lot of activity around this area? Do you think? Was there other people, friends, who reported similar things?
My next door neighbours, or my old next door neighbour, one of the brothers said they seen a fireball in the same lane that I had my close encounter on the 11th of December. So when he told me that, he says he walked past the lane, seen a fireball in the lane, and they absolutely shat it and ran in the house.
Right.
They said they were absolutely, scared at their wits,
Yeah.
the fact that this thing was in the lane, So
Yeah.
all very odd, eh?
Yeah.
Just out of interest, I think with your brother, didn't he see a light which was sort of kind of half submerged into the ground?
Yeah, my brother Nick saw a blue plasma ball sink into the asphalt of the top of tarmac, through tarmac, on near Calton Moor in Skipton. On Calton Moor, it's very close to where Tony Dodd, one of the other police officers, would have had their sighting.
Right, okay.
In 78, was it? But Nick saw that like maybe 98, I guess. Not quite sure. I don't remember. But yeah, it's.
So what you're actually saying is consistent with other accounts in terms of this type of light.
Ah,
You know,
certainly,
it seems to be able to move through physical objects. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that.
Aye,
It's really
no problem.
fascinating.
Absolutely brilliant. Bumped into you. Birthday of my anniversary of my first one. After my initial sighting at 4:45 on Overdale Street in Bathfield, I was returning home here with the dog, rather in a hurry to tell people about it, because my brother and his girlfriend and her friend were all still at my mum's house. And I get into the street here, we're now on Carnwath Avenue on Newlands. And as I come running into the street, I've seen a stationary object just above these rooftops in the building right at the end of the street, and sprinted down the street. I think I noticed it, and then I kind of ignored that, ran in the house with the dog, threw the front door open. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and my words were, "Everybody outside now!" And obviously my mum and dad are up in bed sleeping, and I've kind of woke the house up. But my brother's girlfriend managed to get out to the front door, and she's seen the object with me before it disappeared. So I've had another witness to it. By the time my brother got to the door, it had gone. I'm still panicking, and I'm going, UFO, and he says, well, it's gone now. You know, he was all upset at me throwing the front door open at 5 in the morning, screaming the house down. As I say, I got into the street, seen the object stationary, ran down, stood on the path, and it went from a phosphorus kind of blue-white light, and the light went out, and then I was actually able to see the silhouette of what I thought was an object that had a sort of point at the top of it, so it looked kind of pyramidal at the top. But light emanated from the top of it, from each side, white light, and then eventually the whole craft became... before it did that, actually, it started flashing all sorts of coloured lights. The difference between my sighting round there is obviously it just flashed red, green and blue lights. This object had green, blue, purples, yellows, all the colours under the sun, and it was, you know, making a big display of itself. And then obviously the lights all stopped flashing, and then that's when it started to glow. After it became totally enveloped in this light, it got brighter and brighter and brighter, sort of expanding, and then it totally imploded on itself. I Google measured it, and it was 728 feet away from me when that happened. So that was completely inexplicable, the fact that it just ceased to exist from physical space right in front of my eyes. Right, this is the location of my sighting at 4:45 AM again on December the 11th, 1999, which was exactly a week down to the hour, down to the minute from my initial sighting, which was absolutely kind of spooky. Myself and my friend Christine Forbes was Christine Howie, so she's married now, it was Christine Forbes at the time. We were going to go and head into town to get tickets for the Travis concert, and they were doing a free gig at Christmas, and there was only 2,000 limited free tickets available. So we had came back after a night out and got winter clothes on, and we were ready to leave the house at about 4:30. And my pal says, you know, come on, we'll go now. And I says, no, we'll wait till 4:45. But I never picked up on this until a couple of years ago when I was researching for my talk at the SPI conference in Edinburgh. So I'd made a conscious decision to leave the house at 4:45 in the morning, and we did. And upon opening the front door to my mother's house, we noticed an object coming across the rooftops over here. So we immediately ran out the house and ran into the lane to try and get out the glare of the street lights so we could try and see this thing properly as it crossed directly in front of us. So we were standing maybe just a few feet ahead here, just at the corner of this lane here. And the object came along again. It was a blue-white oval-shaped object. And it just happened to stop round about our 11 o'clock position. It wasn't too high above the rooftops there. And it stopped we actually expected it to pass directly in front of us, but it stopped. And then when it stopped, another object identical to it materialised right beside it.
Right.
It was either higher up or just lower down. There was just a slight difference between the two of them. The two of them started to exchange light patterns between one another. Right. Really rapid.
Yeah.
So we were standing watching that for a minute.
Yeah.
And then my friend Christine, she says, they're talking, and that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a
communication
a visual communication with lights or whatever. It was really it was bizarre.
Yeah.
So we're standing watching that, and she's saying, they're talking.
Yeah.
But then another object, which was further back and higher up, appeared, and she says, there's another one. So our attention was taken away from these two to this other object, which was further back. And that object let out 4 or 5 pulses of light.
Yeah.
And each time it pulsed, it got stronger.
Yeah.
On the final pulse, this whole part of the lane lit up round about us.
Right.
And I could see our shadows on the fence.
Right.
When this light went off, but our shadow had a shadow had a shadow. Does that make sense? Like, you know, our shadows had shadows that you
so
could
there were
see.
multiple light sources, perhaps? Or do you think that the light was behaving in a very peculiar way? Could it have been that the light was bending in some peculiar way?
I have no idea, but when the light, I mean, it was a very, if you imagine, just like, like briefly lighting up.
It was like a flash, a camera
Just
flash.
a very, my friend described it as an old style camera flash, like that both.
Yeah.
But when that light went off,
Yeah.
light bounced about everywhere within the light for a split set, just a moment.
Yeah.
And light bounced about everywhere. My pal described it as glitter or snowflakes, because you could actually see the changes within the light.
Yeah.
When that light went out, we were totally blinded for maybe 30 odd seconds. We actually staggered out this lane with, that way you get the black blotches running over your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big like ants running over your eyes basically. So we staggered out this lane, and it took us maybe 30 seconds or so before our eyesight came back into focus.
Can I just ask you a question? Do you think it just lit up this part of the lane, or do you think it actually lit up quite a large area around the object itself, like a circumference of the object?
It seemed to be concentrated at us. Yeah.
Right.
And as I've mentioned just a moment ago, Alison
you think it could have clocked the fact that you were watching it in some way?
Yes. Because Alison Dunlop regressed me earlier this year regarding this.
Yeah.
And she asked me what my interpretation of that was, and my words to her were, it was recognition. So I think that the knowledge that we'd seen them, but as I say, by the time our eyes regained focus, we were able to see again properly. All three of these objects disappeared. So that was that.
And approximately how long ago was this sighting?
This was 18 years ago on the 11th of December.
So we're dealing here with a number of sightings which are very close together then in sequence.
I had 5 sightings spaced over, 5 days / nights of sightings spaced over spaced into 3 weeks.
Right, it's interesting the location as well, because I mentioned as we walked down that the corner house is where Bill lives, where he described the object
he
in his
stays
garden.
on the corner here,
and that's just on this
obviously
lane
we've just
too.
got him, and he mentioned the fact that he'd seen the object, and he showed me the actual physical evidence of it on his lawn, so that was...
From his descriptions, could it have been a similar type of object?
I don't know, obviously, if they're related at all, but I just found it very interesting, the fact that we are literally maybe 30 feet away from where he showed me this trace evidence, so that was an eye-opener.
There seems to be a correlation, pattern.
So this was the most intense out of all the sightings, because
it interacted with you in some way.
And again I measured it, and it was there's a railway station, a railway line, behind these houses here, and these two objects seemed to be directly above the railway lines.
Okay.
So I Google measured that again, and it gave me a distance of 528 feet.
Right.
So it was that was my I would say it was my closest sighting, plus it was the most intense, and I also had an eyewitness with me the whole time, still on record to back up what I'm saying.
Do those railway lines have power, electrical power lines over them?
Yes,
They do.
aye. So that it was interesting, to see that. But again, I just found that it wasn't till last year, as I say, when I was doing research for my talk at the SPI conference in Edinburgh, that I was thinking back to that time period when we came into the lane, and that's when I remembered that I had made a conscious decision to leave the house at 4:45 as opposed to leaving 15 minutes earlier. And to open the front door, not even stepping foot out the house, but to see an object again was quite a shock.
Yeah. So you think that you're suggesting that idea could have been placed, or that suggestion to leave just that fraction later may have been...
I've no idea.
So you don't know whether it's synchronicity or whether it was a suggestion, but that in itself is quite interesting, isn't it?
It was, because as I said, the majority of my sightings took place at 4:45. It happened, I had I think 4 sightings at 4:45, one of them 4:45 in the evening, but the rest of them 4:45 in the morning. And I definitely at the time believed that there was some sort of time relevance in relation to the geographical locations that they were appearing at these specific times. So I believed that there was some sort of correlation between time and location.
And just 18 years later, I mean, have you still seen objects? Have they appeared, or has there been other experiences? I mean, in terms of the experiences, I'd like to talk about those in more detail when we get back to the hotel. But But have you seen more?
I've had a couple of sightings, but nothing of the intensity of what I experienced. during
Because
the
what
7th
you
night.
actually describe is very close up, really, isn't it? And that you could see the detail to what you describe as ostensibly it looked like a physical craft.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the lights coming off it, obviously you could tell it was a technological object.
Yeah.
You know, it was the...
But it's quite interesting also about the characteristics of the light as well, that the light itself was unusual. So I think that in itself is very interesting.
Yeah, it was
Were
odd.
there any other physiological effects in terms of a feeling of static electricity, in terms of some people talk about the movement of time can seem elongated or strange or distorted?
Nothing like that. But one of the sightings we had on December the 15th, my brother and I went up Queen's Park, UFO hunting at 3:30 in the morning. This was directly after I phoned air traffic control at Glasgow Airport, made the official report, and got my brother out of bed, and then the two of us went up Queen's Park in the middle of the night to go UFO hunting with a couple of cameras. That's another story. But yeah, as I say, on that sighting when we were in Queen's Park, I had what do you call it? Acrylic hat on or whatever, a woolly hat, and I could actually feel the hat lifted off my head, but I was not moving a muscle in my head, and I could actually feel this hat.
So there was a slight
moving up my head ever so slightly. That was quite creepy. But I think being up Queen's Park at that time of morning as well didn't help, because it's not exactly the wisest idea to go down and up Queen's Park.
What did you see at Queen's Park?
We seen a fireball over the Shawlands area, and it literally did look like a fireball, like a glowing spear.
Reddish colour, white? Well,
reddish and black, and it actually hurt the eyes. My eyes were watering looking at it. It was like looking at the sun. It did make my eyes stream.
Did it seem to generate some kind of heat, or just more in terms of its brightness?
Its brightness. Well, I mean, it wasn't super bright. You could see the black through the orange, and you could see that it looked kind of flamey.
I mean, was this a meteorite, or do you think it was something different?
No, it was hovering. It was.
Okay, right.
They actually used a tree branch to gauge its movement.
Right.
So when we used the tree branch, we could actually see it bobbling, moving up and down, sort of like that. And that's my brother, obviously, he's went to take the shot, and then he could have hit me with the camera, so he could, you know, so...
Was it a perfect spherical shape?
It's close to. Obviously, they looked like flames coming off it. But not as in fire, but a coating, if you like. A
coating of flame.
And I just remember my eyes. It was like staring at the sun, trying to focus on this.
Could you estimate the size of the object? I mean, was it really high up or just...
It wasn't really high up, no, it was relatively low.
So maybe 60 feet or something?
I don't even think it was as big as that. I would say maybe 20, 25, 30 feet. For the distance and the time of night, obviously it was hard to gauge. But all we do know is that when we looked at the tree branch, we could actually see it bobbling. It sort of wobbled about for a while. We also witnessed an object, stationary, which happened to be near Glasgow, well, what we thought was near Glasgow Airport at the time. And there was a stationary object sitting, and another object was blinking, and it approached this other object. The thing about it was, this one was here, and this wee one came along, blink, 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 and then when it came right up to it, it shot away again. It was like a wee mouse running along to it, and seen a cat, and then... And that was quite odd. So that was the two things that we seen up Queen's Park that night. That was December the 15th. And that sight accumulated with 3 tornado aircraft coming over the top of Queen's Park. And that was the second time in 4 days that I had seen tornado aircraft vectoring in on the UFO's position. So at the time I knew that obviously
it was unusual.
The Ministry of Defence, or the authorities, shall we say, were aware of it, and obviously they had jets over populated airspace, so I knew that they knew something was going on, which was maybe encouraged me to make my report, because I knew that there was more going on. I was very curious just to get to the bottom of it.
Do you know that it was mental, because that just started out as a pet project. That was never meant to be a book.
Is that in the camera shot?
so you can
These
put it
mic-
on if you like.
What about these microphones here? If it's behind the cushion, is that going to be problematic? Is it better?
Put it behind you. If you're not comfortable in your pocket, stick it behind the cushion. Just remember it's there because you don't like to stand up and stuff.
No. Okay.
Yes.
So it will record even if it's behind the cushion. Okay, shall we?
Just let me just.
And we're going to be cruel here. Are we going to stick the baby outside? I know it's.